I paid off my brother's $50,000 student loans as a wedding gift. He told everyone I was desperate for validation and threw my money back in my face. So I sent him an invoice for the full amount plus interest, and he lost his job over the stress. This happened 3 months ago at his wedding reception. My brother got married to his girlfriend of 4 years. They had this huge wedding, like 200 people, open bar, the whole thing. I was happy for him. We were close growing up. He helped me through some really dark times when I was younger. He had student loans. A lot of them. 50 grand worth from his engineering degree. He complained about them constantly. Every family dinner, every phone call, it was always about how the loans were crushing him. How he and his wife couldn't buy a house because of the debt. How they had to push off having kids. So I paid them off. All of them. I did well for myself. I'm in tech, made some good investments early on. I'm not rich but I'm comfortable. 50,000 wouldn't break me. And I wanted to do something meaningful for my brother. Something that would actually change his life. I gave him the check during the reception. Pulled him aside privately, just the two of us by the bar. I handed him the envelope and told him congratulations. He opened it. Stared at the check. Then he looked at me with this expression I'd never seen before. "What is this?" he asked. "Your student loans," I said. "They're gone. Wedding gift." He didn't smile. He didn't hug me. He just kept staring at the check like it was a snake. "You're serious right now?" "Yeah. I wanted to help. You've been stressing about this for years." That's when he said it. "This is pathetic." I thought I heard him wrong. "What? You're so desperate for validation that you'd throw money at me to feel important?" He shook his head. "This is sad. You've always needed to be the hero." I was stunned. "I'm trying to help you." "No. You're trying to buy my gratitude. You want me to owe you. You want everyone to think you're this amazing, generous person." He ripped the check in half. Then in half again. Let the pieces fall to the floor. "I don't want your guilt money." "Guilt money? What are you talking about? You've felt guilty for years that you make more than me. That you got lucky with your tech job while I'm stuck in a regular engineering position. This is you trying to make yourself feel better. My wife was his wife's maid of honor. That's how he met his wife actually. Through us. We introduced them. My wife came over when she saw us arguing. "Everything okay?" she asked. My brother smiled at her. "Fake as hell." "Yeah. Just having a chat with my very generous brother here." The rest of the reception was awful. My brother told people. Not everyone, but enough. His groomsmen. Some cousins. His wife's family. He framed it like I was trying to show off. Like I was making his wedding about me. My mom pulled me aside before we left. "What happened with you and your brother? He told you? He said you tried to make a scene about money. That you wanted attention." "Mom, I paid off his student loans. As a gift." He threw it back in my face. She looked uncomfortable. "Well. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe he felt embarrassed." "Embarrassed? You know how he is about money. He's proud." I left. My wife and I didn't stay for the send-off. The next day my brother texted me. "Don't contact me for a while. I need space from your toxic behavior." Toxic behavior. I paid off his debt and I'm toxic. I was angry. Really angry. So I did something probably stupid. I contacted a lawyer. Had them draft an official invoice for $50,000 plus 7% interest compounded monthly. The lawyer said since my brother rejected the gift, it could be considered a loan that he refused to accept the forgiveness terms of. I sent it to him. Certified mail. He called me screaming. "Are you out of your mind? You threw my gift back in my face. So now it's a loan. You have 90 days to pay. This is insane. You can't do this." My lawyer says I can. "You rejected the gift terms. That makes it a loan you're in default on. I'm not paying you a cent. Then I'll see you in court." He hung up. Then he called my mom. My dad. My aunts and uncles. Everyone. Said I was trying to destroy him over my ego. That I was suing him for being ungrateful. My mom called me crying. "How could you do this to your brother? How could he humiliate me at his wedding? He was overwhelmed. You embarrassed him with a grand gesture. Now you're being vindictive." I didn't back down. The invoice stood. Here's where it gets worse. My brother started having panic attacks. His wife called me 3 weeks later. She was crying. "He's falling apart," she said. "He can't sleep. He's terrified you're actually going to sue him. His work performance is slipping. Maybe he should apologize." "For what? For being uncomfortable with your help? For calling me pathetic? For telling everyone I'm desperate for validation?" She hung up. 2 weeks after that, my brother lost his job. His company did layoffs and he was one of them. His wife blamed me. Said the stress from our fight made him underperform. Made him an easy target. Now my whole family is on my case. My dad won't talk to me. My mom keeps sending me articles about forgiveness. My brother's wife sent me a long email about how I destroyed their lives. How they might lose their apartment. How this is all my fault. My wife thinks I should drop the invoice. "You made your point," she said last night. "Let it go." But I can't. He called me pathetic for trying to help him. He humiliated me in front of our family. He turned everyone against me. The invoice is still active. I haven't taken legal action yet, but I could. Part of me wants to just to prove I'm serious. Part of me knows that makes me the villain in everyone's story. So I guess my question is, am I the one in the wrong here for not just taking the disrespect and moving on? My brother tried to pin everything on his wife and my parents didn't buy it for 1 second. I showed up at my parents' house at 6 like my brother's wife said. I got there early, parked down the street, waited. Wanted to see if she'd actually go through with it or if this was some kind of setup. She pulled up at 5:50. Sat in her car for a few minutes. I could see her gripping the steering wheel. Then she got out and walked to the door. I waited another minute. Then I followed. My mom answered when I knocked. Her face went from surprise to angry in half a second. "What are you doing here?" I was invited. My brother's wife appeared behind my mom. I asked him to come. My mom looked between us. "What's going on?" "We need to talk," my brother's wife said. "All of us." "Is everyone here?" My dad was in the living room. My brother was there too. He saw me and stood up immediately. "What the hell is he doing here?" "Sit down," his wife said. "Don't tell me to sit down." "Why is he in my parents' house?" "Because I asked him to be here. We need to tell them the truth." My brother's face went pale. "We're not doing this." "Yes, we are." My mom was still standing in the doorway looking confused. My dad walked over. "Someone want to explain what's happening?" "The student loans were already paid off," my brother's wife said. "Just like that. No build up. Before the wedding. My parents paid them in April." The room went completely silent. My mom looked at my brother. "What is she talking about?" My brother was shaking his head. "She's confused. She's been stressed and she's not thinking clearly." "I'm not confused. We paid off the loans 3 months before the wedding and we didn't tell anyone. We let everyone think we were still drowning in debt." My dad sat down slowly. "Why would you do that?" "Because people were giving us money," I said. "They felt bad about the loans so they helped. And you two just kept taking it." My brother pointed at me. "You don't know what you're talking about. Your wife told me everything yesterday." "How much did my mom give you?" $500 a month for how long?" My mom's hand went to her mouth. "It wasn't like that," my brother said. "We were struggling. We needed help." "You were lying," I said. "You scammed our entire family." "We didn't scam anyone. We just didn't correct a misunderstanding." My dad's voice was quiet. Dangerous quiet. "How much?" My brother didn't answer. "How much money did we give you under false pretenses?" "Around 15,000, his wife said. "Total?" "From everyone." "Over the past year." My mom sat down next to my dad. She looked like she might be sick. "That's why you rejected my gift," I said to my brother. "Not because you were proud or embarrassed. Because you couldn't explain accepting $50,000 for loans that didn't exist. Someone would figure it out. So you made me the villain instead," I continued. "Called me pathetic. Told everyone I was desperate for validation. Turned the whole family against me. All to cover your ass." My brother looked at his wife. "I can't believe you did this. I can't believe I let it go on this long. We talked about this. We agreed to keep it between us." "No. You decided to keep it between us. I felt sick about this for months." My mom finally spoke. "I've been giving you $200 a month since you moved in. You told me you had nothing left after losing the apartment." My brother ran his hands through his hair. "We do have nothing left. We spent the savings." "On what?" my dad asked. Silence. "On what?" "A car," my brother's wife said. "A new car. We bought it in June. Paid cash. $22,000. I almost laughed. "They scammed the family out of 15 grand and then bought a car." "Where's the car now?" my dad asked. "In storage. We told everyone we sold it when money got tight." My mom stood up. "Get out. Mom, please. Get out of my house. Let me explain." "Explain what?" "That you stole from us? That you lied to everyone who tried to help you? That you destroyed your relationship with your brother to hide it?" "I didn't steal. I just accepted help when it was offered. Under false pretenses," my dad said. "That's called fraud." My brother turned to me. "This is what you wanted, right? To destroy me? Congratulations. You win." "I didn't do anything," I said. "You did this to yourself. You sent me an invoice. You tried to sue me. You've been trying to ruin my life since the wedding. You ruined your own life when you decided to con our family." My brother grabbed his jacket. "Come on," he said to his wife. "We're leaving." She didn't move. "I'm not going with you." "What?" "I'm staying here. I'm going to help them figure out how to fix this. How to pay people back." "With what money?" "We'll sell the car. We'll get jobs. We'll do whatever it takes." My brother stared at her. "You're choosing them over me?" "I'm choosing to do the right thing. Something you should have done months ago." He looked around the room. At his wife. At me. At our parents. "You're all insane. I didn't do anything wrong. People gave us money because they wanted to help. That's not my fault." Nobody responded. He left. Slammed the door hard enough that a picture frame fell off the wall. My mom was crying. My dad just sat there staring at nothing. "I'm sorry," my brother's wife said. "I should have said something sooner. I should have stopped him." "Why didn't you?" my mom asked. "Because I was scared. And because I told myself it wasn't that bad. That we'd pay everyone back eventually. But we never did. We just kept spending and taking more. I wanted to feel vindicated." Wanted to feel like I'd been proven right. But mostly I just felt tired. My dad looked at me. I owe you an apology. It's fine. It's not fine. We believed him over you. We made you the villain when you were trying to do something kind. You didn't know. We should have known. We should have questioned why he reacted that way. My dad shook his head. I called you vindictive. Told you to fix this. And you were right the whole time. My mom reached over and took my hand. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We sat there for a while. Nobody really knowing what to say. My brother's wife said she'd work with them to contact everyone who'd given them money. Figure out how to repay it. She was going to stay with a friend for now. File for separation. I drove home around 9. My wife was waiting in the living room. How did it go? They know everything now. Are you okay? I don't know. I sat down across from her. Not next to her. Why didn't you tell me? I explained yesterday. She asked me not to. That's not good enough. You're my wife. You're supposed to be on my side. I am on your side. Then why didn't you tell me the truth? Why did you let me think I was crazy? Why did you pull away from me when I needed you? She looked down. Because I didn't want to lose my best friend. So you chose her over me. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Because from where I'm sitting, you knew my brother was lying and scamming our family and you said nothing. You watched me get destroyed by everyone and you knew it was based on a lie and you still said nothing. You told me to drop the invoice. To let it go. You made me feel like I was being unreasonable. I thought if everyone just moved on, it would blow over. Blow over? My brother stole from my parents. From our family. And you wanted me to let it blow over? I didn't know what to do. I was stuck in the middle. You weren't stuck in the middle. You made a choice. You chose to protect her instead of telling me the truth. She started crying. I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I know I should have told you. Yeah. You should have. Can we get past this? I didn't answer. Honestly didn't know the answer. She's been sleeping in the guest room since last night. This morning she left early for work and texted me that she'd stay at her sister's place for a few days. Give me space to think. My mom called me this afternoon. She and my dad are trying to figure out how much money they gave my brother. How much they can realistically get back. My mom kept apologizing. Kept saying she should have listened to me. My brother hasn't contacted anyone as far as I know. His wife says he's staying with one of his groomsmen. She filed for separation this morning. Wants to do this as cleanly as possible. The invoice is obviously dropped. Doesn't matter anymore. Never really mattered. What matters is my brother destroyed his marriage, his relationship with our family, and any trust we had in him. All because he wanted money he didn't earn and wasn't willing to come clean when he got caught. And my wife lied to me for months to protect someone who was actively scamming our family. I keep thinking about what my brother's wife said. That she kept telling herself it wasn't that bad. That they'd fix it eventually. That's what my wife did too. Told herself it would work itself out. That it wasn't her place to say anything. But silence is a choice. And she chose wrong. People keep asking me if I feel better now that the truth is out. I don't. I feel like I'm standing in the wreckage of my family and my marriage and I don't know how to fix any of it. My brother was my best friend growing up. The person I looked up to. The person I wanted to help because he'd helped me. And he used it against me. Took my kindness and turned it into a weapon. My wife was the person I trusted most in the world. The person who was supposed to have my back no matter what. And she kept a secret that nearly destroyed me. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is whether you can come back from this kind of betrayal. Can you forgive someone for choosing to protect a liar over telling you the truth? Can you rebuild trust once you know the person you married is willing to watch you suffer to avoid an uncomfortable conversation? I acknowledge all the rules clearly. Natural Redditor tone, no greetings or formal intros. Assume readers know all previous updates. This is the final update. Must resolve everything. Tie up all loose ends for major characters. Show consequences and emotional closure. No new major plot twists. No headings, bold text, or formatting. Every sentence adds value. Show emotions through action/dialogue. Mix sentence lengths naturally. No em-dashes, use commas. Must be exactly 10,000 characters, not words. Avoid cliches, generic stories, common names. No timeline errors, repetitive beats, unnatural dialogue. No plot holes. Organic storytelling, not event listing. Clear consequences for wrongdoers. No redemption for cheaters/liars. Simple language, direct and conversational. Realistic dialogue and authentic details. Clear moral lines throughout. Story must feel final and complete. Now I'll write the final update. My wife moved out 3 weeks ago and I'm not asking her to come back. I know everyone wanted to know what happened with us. With my brother. With all of it. So here's where everything landed. My wife stayed at her sister's place for 5 days after the truth came out. Then she came home and we sat down to actually talk. Really talk. Not the surface level stuff we'd been doing. She told me she'd been carrying the secret since 2 weeks before the wedding. My brother's wife had broken down crying one night when they were doing wedding prep stuff. Told her everything. Made her promise not to say anything because she was going to convince my brother to come clean after the honeymoon. But he never did, I said. No. And every time I brought it up with her, she'd say she was working on it. That she just needed more time. So you waited. While I paid him $50,000. While he called me pathetic. While our entire family turned against me. She started crying. Again. I was tired of the crying. I thought he'd just decline the money quietly. I never thought he'd attack you like that. But when he did, you still said nothing. I didn't know what to do. If I told you, you'd confront him. Then she'd know I broke her confidence. I'd lose my best friend. So you chose her. I chose wrong. I know that now. We went back and forth for hours. She kept apologizing. Kept saying she understood if I couldn't forgive her. Kept asking what she could do to fix it. The thing is, I don't think she can fix it. Trust isn't something you repair with apologies. It's something you build over time, and she shattered it. She watched me suffer and chose her friendship over our marriage. That's not something I can just get over. I told her I needed space. Real space. Not her staying at her sister's for a few days. Actual separation to figure out if this marriage was worth saving. She moved out 2 days later. Got an apartment across town. We're still legally married, but we're not together. Maybe we will be someday. Maybe not. Right now I don't have an answer. My brother's situation got worse before it got better. His wife filed for divorce, not just separation. Turns out the lying about money wasn't the only issue. She'd been unhappy for a while. The scam was just the final straw. She sold the car they bought. Got $18,000 for it. Gave it all to my parents to start paying back what they stole. My parents are using it to repay everyone else. My aunt and uncle. The cousins who helped. Everyone who gave money thinking they were helping with student loans. My brother fought the divorce at first. Tried to claim she was abandoning him during a hard time. His lawyer told him he had no case. Especially once the financial fraud came out. He lost his groomsman's couch after 2 weeks. Apparently he spent the whole time complaining about how everyone betrayed him. How his wife ruined his life by telling the truth. How I orchestrated the whole thing to make him look bad. The groomsman told him to leave. My brother ended up moving 2 hours away to stay with a college friend. Got a job at some small engineering firm making about half what he used to make. From what I hear through my mom, he's barely scraping by. Paying rent, paying for the divorce lawyer, trying to rebuild his life from nothing. My mom feels bad for him. She shouldn't, but she does. He's her son. I get it. But she's not giving him money anymore. My dad made that clear. They'll have a relationship with him eventually, but the trust is gone. My parents paid back everyone they could track down. It took most of their savings. Money they'd been putting away for retirement. My dad had to postpone retiring for another 2 years to rebuild what they lost. I offered to help. My dad refused. Said this was their mistake for not questioning things sooner. For enabling my brother's lies. You tried to help him honestly, my dad said last week when we had lunch. We helped him lie. That's on us. I dropped the invoice obviously. Sent my brother a formal letter saying the debt was forgiven and I wouldn't pursue legal action. He never responded. Haven't heard from him directly since the night at my parents' house. My mom says he asks about me sometimes. Wants to know if I hate him. She doesn't know what to tell him. Honestly? I don't hate him. I'm just done. Done trying to help. Done trying to have a relationship with someone who'd destroy me to save himself. He's my brother by blood, but that's where it ends now. The worst part of all this wasn't the money or the lies or even the family drama. It was realizing how alone I actually was when things went bad. My brother betrayed me. My wife chose silence over honesty. My parents believed him over me. I had no one in my corner. I've been going to therapy. Started about 2 weeks ago. My therapist says I have trust issues now. No kidding. She also says I need to process the grief of losing relationships I thought were solid. That even though I was right about everything, I still lost people I loved. She's not wrong. I was vindicated, but I don't feel victorious. I feel empty. Work has been good though. Threw myself into a new project. Got a promotion last week actually. More money I don't need, but at least it's a distraction. I've been on 2 dates. Both went nowhere. Hard to open up to someone new when you're still processing how badly the people you trusted hurt you. The second date asked why I seemed distant and I almost told her the whole story. Stopped myself. That's too much baggage for a first date. My brother's ex-wife and I talk sometimes. She feels guilty still. Guilty for not speaking up sooner. Guilty for being part of it at all. I told her she did the right thing eventually and that counts for something. She's doing okay. Got a job at a marketing firm. Started dating someone new. She seems lighter now. Like telling the truth lifted something off her shoulders even though it cost her marriage. I asked her once if she regretted coming clean. If keeping the secret would have been easier. Every day with that secret was harder than any day after telling the truth, she said. I couldn't live with myself anymore. I think about that a lot. About how my wife is still living with herself just fine apparently. She texts me every few days. Asks how I'm doing. Tells me she misses me. Asks if I'm ready to talk about reconciliation. I'm not. Maybe I never will be. My parents want me to consider couples therapy with her. They think the marriage is worth fighting for. My dad especially. He keeps saying marriage is about forgiveness. But forgiveness isn't the same as trust. I can forgive her for choosing wrong. That doesn't mean I can trust her not to do it again when things get hard. Last night I was going through old photos. Found pictures from my brother's wedding. Me and him in our suits before the ceremony. Both of us smiling. I looked so happy. Had no idea that in a few hours he'd rip up my check and call me pathetic. Had no idea my wife already knew he was lying. I deleted the photos. All of them. The wedding. Family gatherings from the past year. Anything from the time they were actively lying. I know it's petty, but I don't want those memories anymore. They're tainted. My mom cried when I told her I deleted them. Said I'd regret it someday. Maybe she's right. Right now though I need to let go of who I thought these people were and accept who they actually are. My brother is someone who'll lie and steal from family to get what he wants. My wife is someone who'll protect a friendship over her marriage. My parents are people who believed the wrong son until they had no choice. And me? I'm someone who tried to do something kind and got destroyed for it. I'm someone who's learning that good intentions don't protect you from bad people. That family doesn't mean loyalty. That marriage doesn't guarantee honesty. I'm also someone who's rebuilding. Slowly. My therapist says that's enough for now. That I don't need to have all the answers yet. That healing isn't linear. Some days I'm angry. Some days I'm just sad. Some days I don't feel much of anything. Today I feel tired. Tired of thinking about it. Tired of being asked if I'm okay. Tired of people telling me time heals everything. Maybe it does. Maybe 6 months from now or a year from now I'll feel different. Maybe I'll reconcile with my wife. Maybe I'll forgive my brother. Maybe I'll look back on this and understand it all better. Or maybe I'll just move on. Build a new life with people who actually deserve my trust. Find peace in knowing I did the right thing even when it cost me everything. I don't have a neat ending for this. No closure moment where everything makes sense. Life isn't like that. Sometimes you do everything right and still lose. Sometimes being a good person means standing alone. What I do know is I'm done sacrificing myself for people who wouldn't do the same for me. Done being the one who compromises. Done accepting less than I deserve because they're family or because we're married or because it's easier than standing my ground. My brother taught me that kindness can be weaponized. My wife taught me that silence can be betrayal. My family taught me that being right doesn't mean being supported. Those are hard lessons. Expensive ones. But at least now I know.